Wait, we're... Oh, we are live. We're... So, I apologize, everybody. I have tears running down my eyes because I've been laughing
we are
like
live.
hysterically.
We're...
Because I... So, I have been... I thought I've been streaming this past hour since 7, and I haven't the whole time. So yeah. High five to me for being stupid and not knowing how to work a computer, I guess. I hit the start streaming on my OBS and then went into YouTube. And I guess need to do YouTube first and then hit streaming. So you didn't miss too much. I did Shaw of Anger and didn't get the mount. So we're still working on him. Nalek, I didn't get the mount. I still have to try on my Hunter. So I at least can show me not get that. Right now, I am on my way to completing a complete circuit so that I can get Reigns of the Armored Sky Screamer. I just need this last circuit and then I get my mount. This was annoying because after I did all the achievements, I came to this one and I was like, oh my gosh, you can only do one a week. Touche. Touche. I think that's up there with, what was it called? Head case. Because you have to do that in 3 weeks. So I understand you can do both. At the time, though, I was having major issues with, you said crossing the streams was bad. It wasn't working at all. I understand after reading a bunch of different reviews and stuff of others that were working on this achievement that I guess it's been bugged since 8.2 or 8.3, that the white pool doesn't show up anymore. And it showed up for like the first phase, and then that was it. And then I would get murdered in phase 2 for no reason. Like I kept looking and I was like, I don't know why I'm dying. So I sent in a ticket, and Blizzard kind of came back and was like, well, did you turn it off and turn it on? And it's one of those moments where you just kind of stare at them and you're like, that's the best advice you could give me. And I honestly, I turned off the whole thing because I was like, yes, I literally did refreshes. I uninstalled like all the add-ons. I reinstalled them. I turned it off. I turned it back on, and it still wasn't working. And then I think I took like a couple weeks off. And I kept doing the same thing. Like I kept uninstalling stuff. I kept putting it back on. And for whatever reason, it actually worked a couple weeks ago. So I finally got that achievement. I was so happy about it. But I was annoyed at myself because I thought I had my my OBS, and for whatever reason, it disappeared from my computer. So I don't have any footage of it. And then today, I was supposed to start streaming at 7, which I was. I was right on time. And like I said, I totally jacked it up. And I got to talk to myself for an hour and not be live so that people could see it. So that's on me. But at least we figured it out before I finish this achievement, so I can at least have the achievement for everybody. So that's literally all that you missed. I'll go back into my intro for everything in a moment. But this morning was pretty good. I thought I had everything. So hi, my name is Anne, and I am playing Resto Druid on WoW. No, I have not played Classic. I have a good friend that absolutely loves Classic, and I will let them run with it. But I have thoroughly been enjoying mount hunting. My guild did ahead of the curve. They didn't really want to go into Mythic too much. I think we did like a one or two bosses of Mythic before everyone was like, I need a break. And some people went off to do some more keys. A couple worked on PvP. And then for the most part, people were like, nah, I'll see you in the next patch. For me, whenever we have these breaks, it gives me a chance to kind of go back to the legacy stuff. And that's when I found out about Gloria the Thundering Raider, and I wanted to try it out. It's definitely not difficult, but there are some achievements that I know some people are like, yeah, no problem, you can solo this, and they make it look easy, and I don't know if it's just me, it's not easy. There's one called Soft Hands, and I don't know if I just was not paying attention that well to the instructions, because, you know, they tell you when you go before the boss, you have to grab this egg that falls, and you have to kill the boss before the egg touches the ground, or else it's kind of game over and you have to try it again. So we were like a half hour into this thing trying to find this egg. Because I was doing it with a friend, and they tagged the boss, and we were kind of taking some time. We were setting everything up. And then I was looking for the egg, and I could not find this egg. And I was getting really, like, frustrated. And I was like, I'm watching, and I'm slowing down the tutorials, and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, okay, I think I'm at the right nest, but nothing is dropping. So then we finally reset the stupid thing. And I like watched another tutorial. I was like, because I'm missing something. And you only have like 18 seconds from when you first tag the boss that the egg will drop. And I was like, I wish I would have known that like a half hour before, because I didn't know. And my friend tagged the boss. You know, we kind of had a countdown, and they forgot that we had a countdown. So we weren't really ready. And we were kind of laughing about it. And I was like, and we missed our chance with the egg because, you know, I didn't know that it was that close to after when you first initiate that it's going to drop. And this is the boss I'm talking about, Jikun. Now, some people are laughing because it's very close to chicken, if you say it that way. The nice thing is I can just murder everybody and move through this since I already got the achievement. I did almost solo it when I was testing it out. I got him down to 15%. But I just didn't have enough that I could tick him down before I fell and lost the egg. But it was nice. I had two friends that like popped on, and I have fairy dust on my druid. So not only was I able to finally grab the stupid egg, and that was a whole ordeal because for whatever reason I was not able to get the egg at first. Like I would see it and I would go for it, and I swear I would fly through the egg and it wouldn't pick it up for me, and the egg would just fall. So that was frustrating at first. And then I went back to the tutorials because I was like, okay, I must be missing something again. Do you have to click something? And, you know, everyone was like, no, you basically just fly through the egg and then it should, you know, pop up of you holding it. And I was like, it is not working for me. And I think I went like a little bit higher, and then I was able to grab the stupid thing. So when you first come down and you're looking at the boss and he's just chilling right there, As soon as you tag him, you have 18 seconds to drop down here and kill the little young eggs, because they're going to give you a feather. And then within 18 seconds, this is the nest that the egg is going to drop from. And it's this tiny gold thing, and he's just going to go choo. And you got to grab him. Now, there's been a couple people I watched their tutorials where, you know, they've placed some dots on him initially without murdering him, because he has to be alive as you grab the egg. And just enough that they have enough time to grab the egg, and then he dies. Because the minute you start attacking him, you drop the egg. So that's how it can be difficult, because some people, how they've done it was they tag him, they put some dots on him, they jump down to get the feather, they got the feather, and then as they're coming up to grab the egg, they put more dots on him so that by the time they grab the egg, he dies. Now my dude is too strong, like I almost one-shot him, so we had to take all the armor off and basically just punch him. And then once I grabbed the egg, then we did our full attacks to burn him down and kill him. So I did it with 2 friends. I got lucky. People were nice to me. They're like, I'll help you out. And this is King Babu. He likes to hang out and assist me as I am trying to get mounts. So it is doable to do solo, but I do suggest that if you have at least one friend that's willing to help you out, to do it with a friend, because it's less irritating. So we're gonna fly over here. Now this is the area I was talking about a little bit earlier. You said that crossing the streams was bad, was bugging out on me. I do highly agree with all the tutorials to do this solo. Don't do this with a friend. It's a lot. I'm not saying that you can't do it with a friend, but it's just a lot easier to do on your own, because all of the streams will be on you, rather than you have a stream on you and there's a stream on your friend. The other thing you want to do is you want to have this on normal, because within 90 seconds, if you don't, one, get the fog beast that you need to find, and then get to the next phase, he murders you, regardless of what level you are. Whereas in normal, you don't have that issue. Now the only annoying thing with this is I have to get to the very last boss. So let's just run through all these slimes. So it's best to do some of these achievements on normal. You will have to do this on heroic, because there's 4 achievements of you beating the last 4 bosses on heroic. But to save you time and aggravation, like a head case. Head case is not a big deal. You could do that on normal or heroic. But definitely soft hands. Definitely, you said crossing the streams was bad. And definitely ritualist too. That was the one where, you know, you have 24 different ritualists that you have to kill. and it's RNG. So it doesn't matter how many times you go in and out. To kill them, you might be killing the same guys over and over again until the RNG gods finally favor you and give you new dudes. And I think that took me about a week and a half for everybody to finally show up and that I could finish it. So we're just going to take him out really quick. Yes, I've been ignoring all the loot because honestly, the most important thing is getting the mount. Now, I did do the raid trick where you came in here on normal, you opened the door. We don't care about the guards. But these, they only give you 6 ritualists, so you're not going to touch the animus at all. You're going to go in. You're going to kill the ritualists one by one. Or, you know, maybe you have a better dot than me. You still don't touch the orb, and then you're going to go back out. Pre-made group, custom, and then you're going to start a group. And you can title it anything, it doesn't matter. So I'll just do that really quick. And then you'll list it. You want to convert it to a raid. And then you want to leave the party. And then either hearth out or walk out. And then you have to wait like a half hour or something like that. And then you go back in, and then these guys will be back alive. And you literally keep doing that. Until hopefully you get all 24. There was a couple of days where, you know, you hit the end of the day and you're like, okay, I guess I will try again tomorrow. So everyone that I was watching, they said that's the best trick to get the Ritualist 2 achievement the quickest. You could do it the old-fashioned way where you literally just do the raid each week. But I highly suggest you do the raid finder, leave the group, and then you come back. Now I actually just completed the world quest. I finished the Flamekeeper yesterday. I just need to finish up Brewmaster and Merrymaker, and then I can get the Violet Protodrake. It's actually pretty good timing, since everything is coming right after each other. What it irritated me was with Brewmaster, I worked so hard on getting everything, and I swear the vendor would not let me join Brew of the Month. You can call me on it all you want, but they did not let me join the Brew Club. So I'm hoping this year will be a lot nicer to me, and whatever was going on won't happen again, so I can get that and I can finish this achievement out. And then literally I'll just have to finish Merrymaker and I will be done. Now, I won't lie. Um, Getting all the bonfires, I definitely got happy notes because there was no way I was going to toggle on my map every few seconds to find these beautiful bonfires throughout the whole world. Now, I didn't do Panda World because I really don't need burning blossoms anymore. Obviously, if you want all the toys and stuff, you're going to do the dailies, you're going to do everything. Um, Even though I am a completionist when it comes to achievements and stuff, I'm really not one for the toys. Like, if I find something kind of cool, I'll be like, yeah, I'll go for that toy. But for the most part, I am not going out of my way to get every single toy possible. I want the mounts. That's what I want. If there was a mount, I would be like doing dailies every single day until I could get them out. Like I said, we did Shaw of Anger earlier. All I got was gold. Next week, maybe we'll get lucky and the RNG gods will be generous and finally drop the mount for me. I've been off and on with Shaw of Anger, I think for about a year and a half, and he hasn't dropped yet. So I am hitting the higher numbers of those that, they'd be like, hey, it took me 5,000 kills before it finally dropped. I think it's going to be one of those. I did get lucky though. I got the Azure Drake the first time I went back into Eye of Eternity in like a couple of years. I'm going to have to go back to get the other one. But I felt really special because I never got one on the first try before. Of one that you have to keep trying and grinding before they'll drop. So I'm proud of him. I like him. Yes, I did spend, I want to say it was a good month and a half, 2 months in Netherwing to grind the rep needed to buy all these drakes. I know people think they're ugly, but I worked really hard to get them. And I was so proud of myself when I went into the mine shaft to get the eggs to get rep a lot faster. So yeah, I think they're beautiful. And I don't regret spending the time it took to get them. So we gotta go back to Isle of Thunder. I just wanted to show everybody, especially those that might not know how to do that trick. I've had a couple of friends that kind of just stared at me before I went through how you set up a raid group and then how you leave the group to reset the instance. You have to remember that if you tag that orb, this won't work and you're going to have to wait until next week. So make sure you have it on normal. Don't tag the boss. Just kill the ritualists. Make the group and then leave it. Wait. A lot of people said that you could go right on the half-hour mark, but then there was others that were saying, no, you need to wait 31 minutes. I never tried the 30-minute mark. I always did 31 minutes just to give myself that like extra time. Now we did attack Nalak on my druid. Again, only gold dropped. I'll try again on my hunter a little bit later. Maybe he'll drop for me. I'm hoping that I could get this soon and that I don't have to come back to Isle of Thunder like ever again. Because I would like to start farming Hooleon again. And I won't lie, I farmed Hooleon for a good year and then took a break because the mount just was not dropping. And now that I have a hunter, I need to go do the rep so that I can steal him and make him a pet. Which is going to be really hard because there's still a lot of people that want the mount. So I'll have to see about how I can get him without someone murdering him before I can turn him into a pet and tame him. So when you come back, you want to hit the reset all instances before you go in. So I'll hit 31 minutes, reset all instances, and then you'll go back into the raid. And then literally you'll just run back up the stairs. This door will be closed, and hopefully 6 new ritualists will be there. If this is open and it's like this, you didn't wait long enough. So go back out, wait some more, and then try it again. And then literally you just keep doing that until you get the 24 that you need. And then you got the achievement. I don't feel like dealing with all the spiders, so we're just gonna go into prowl mode. And yes, I have to go through all of the bosses to get to the final boss in order to get this last achievement. That's the other annoying thing. You just have to run through the whole thing all over again 4 times. Now again, I can't really talk much because I can one-shot everybody. So I understand that this must have been really irritating when people had to do this as a level 35. So I haven't been doing much healing because like I said, the guild has been on break. I did do a little bit of PvP, but I enjoyed DPSing it a lot more than trying to heal it. Battlegrounds, I have no problem. It's the 2v2s and the 3v3s that I'm like, no, people are just, it's not fun. People get angry too quickly. They rage quit too quickly. I understand the frustration of like you have to wait to get into a game, but again, when you're doing 2v2s and 3s, like they're really fast. I understand the battlegrounds, but not to the point that I'm gonna screw the whole team over and just rage quit. So usually when we go on breaks, I like to go on my balance and try to get mounts. I am excited for 9.1 to come out and try out the new raid. I was reading there's going to be 10 bosses that we're going to have to face. I always do that. I always want to go up the stairs, but they're actually on this side hallway. So I want the Static Shock, I believe it is. Yep. I'm going for this guy down here. So we're going to run over here. Let's see. Yeah. My spear's already unequipped. I don't want to murder him, or else I'm going to have to wait next week and get this. So we're going to wait for him to come over to this guy right here. And I'm going to right click him and punch him. And then literally turn my back to him. And I just want him to keep hitting me. And we're just going to wait until he puts up this, the power level. So he's almost there. So he's only 2. We need 1 more, and then I can start attacking everything. What you have to do is you have to do that at each one. And that's why it's going to take you 4 weeks for this. And you can watch it move up right here on the side. Now, before I knew that I wasn't streaming live, I went into a little bit of why I wanted to start streaming. And it first started out with, I didn't start playing WoW consistently until Pandaria. And we actually did it because my husband and a couple of our friends asked me to. They wanted to have a group. And, you know, I never really played before. I played like a little bit. My parents were not going to let me have the time that you need to dedicate sometimes for this stuff. And I was in sports and stuff, so I didn't really get into it. So they came up with the awesome plan of making me a warlock. They're like, it's the easiest, you know, starting character. You'll be fine. So I was a warlock, and I absolutely hated my life. I hated playing warlock. I hated every minute of it. I don't know why I suck at it, but I'm horrible at playing them. I always died. I couldn't do anything on my own. I always needed somebody with me. Ah, there we go. Yes. I'll take your stuff. Ah, here he is. He's so handsome. I don't care what anyone says. I like him. See, I was playing a warlock, and I was horrible at it. But I kept playing him, and I kept maxing him out. and we would do raids, and I was playing on a really old laptop, so I couldn't see any of the images. So I kept dying, and then I would get kicked because I would keep dying. And I would get really frustrated because people were like, "Why are you standing in fire?" And I'm like, "I don't see any fire." But I kept playing him thinking that it was going to get better because I guess I just hate myself. And it never got better. So I played through Pandaria, and then I did Warlords of Draenor, and I actually don't even think I finished Warlords. Like, I started it, and then I just got so frustrated with the whole stupid thing that I was like, no, I'm just done. And then same thing, like, I watched all the cinematics for Legion and everything, and I had friends that were saying they absolutely loved it, and I was like, no, I'm not coming back. It's a trap. I don't want to play this stupid Warlock. Not thinking, you can pick a different character. So then, for some weird reason, when the Green Fire achievement came out, I wanted it because it gave you a horse with green fire. So I actually came back on it specifically to do that. Now, one of my friends likes to swear up and down that they got it for me, which is baloney. Total shenanigans. One friend couldn't get it, the other one couldn't even get online to get it. So, if you ever see any comments or stuff saying, no, I got it for her, they're lying. And this is where I first learned about macros. Because this was my first macro I ever made, was enslave. Because the pit lord would kick your stupid butt as soon as they got out of the portal. And I was watching a tutorial, and they're like, okay, hit this so that you enslave them, and you won't have to worry about the pit lord. So I did that. But I wasn't able to get the boss down. So again, I stopped playing, and I was all upset about it, and I was like, oh, I'm never going to get this. And then the next expansion came. Well, I learned obviously it's easier to go after legacy stuff when the expansion, the new one comes out. So I was like, oh, I wonder if Green Fire is still up. I went back in, did the whole thing, was able to kill the boss, and I got the Green Fire. So I was proud of myself for that. But then I kind of went back on a break, but it kind of made the WoW itch come back where I was like, oh my god, I want to play, but I don't want to be a warlock. So one of my friends finally was like, well, why don't you just pick a new character? And I was like, what? And the light bulb just went off. So I went back to looking at stuff and like, you know what? Maybe you're just better off being a healer. And I was like, oh, maybe you're right. So I was looking at it, and we were looking at the druid, and I was like, oh my god, I could be a healer and then switch to DPS and actually switch to tank, because I did enjoy tanking a bit. We did have some Death Knights that I was playing with my husband, and we were leveling up at the time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick Resto Druid. So that's how that came to be. And I absolutely loved playing my Resto Druid. I love being able to get into dungeons quicker, into raids quicker, keys, all of that, and keeping people alive. And I thought I was pretty decent at it. And then we went into battle for Azeroth. I know, shame on me. I went into battle Azeroth and I didn't do Legion at all. I did go back later and went through Legion because I really wanted flying. And I'm actually working on the Direbeak and the Sharpolin to turn them into mounts. I'm kind of stuck at the moment because I can't beat the stupid pet battles because I don't have all those super secret rare battle pets that everyone has that they're using. So I'm just going to keep getting the pet charms and I'm going to turn them into 25s and then win that way. So fingers crossed for me on that. I may show that later. It depends. I know some people don't care about pet battles. Some love watching them. They like seeing the different comps that people use. Like especially those that aren't getting the ultra rares. Like some people use the pygmy cow, and you can only get pygmy cow by having the level 3 barn in your garrison. And some people absolutely hated the garrison. So I don't fault anyone for not wanting to work hard to get that stupid thing. And I think I'm too high of a level now because I was trying to do the trapper stuff and I was killing everybody. Bum, bum, bum. So I think I won't be able to get the level 3 barn. I only have a level 2 barn. So I am going in because I want to try to get midnight. A friend of mine got it a couple weeks ago, but they also been playing forever and they have a lot of alts. And he caught wind that a friend of mine were trying to get it before him, so he started staking out and working a lot harder at getting it, and he finally got it before us. So we gotta play some catch up. So yeah, Battle for Azeroth. I wanted to do more because I felt a lot more confident in my ability to keep people alive on a druid than DPSing as a warlock. And a friend of mine was like, oh, you should join a guild because it makes things a lot easier. It makes it easier to get gear and all this stuff. And he, I was looking at the looking for guilds. And it was like, okay, how do you pick like a good one to participate in? And they're like, oh, just join this guild. He's like, I joined it a couple years ago. It has a bunch of prior military in there. My husband and I are prior military, so I was like, okay, I'll be, around people that kind of have the same background. It's easier to bond and stuff like that. And they really took me under their wing because I was a horrible healer at first. I set up, I was very careful and I was setting up all my spells and stuff. But what made me really sucky at it was I would click each person and then hit the spell. So my healing was atrocious when it came to the first raid. And they were really nice, a couple of them. And the guild leader were like, hey, can you tape your screen when you're doing this and we'll take a look at it. And I was like, yeah, sure. So we did that and they're like, oh my god, you're clicking and healing. And I was like, is that not what you're supposed to do? And they introduced me to Healbots. Now obviously it's not the same right now because I'm on my balance, but this has been a major game changer. Now I know not everyone likes Healbots and they use other add-ons, but I like Healbots and I'm going to keep using it. It definitely upped my healing game to the point where I was able to do keys. And I was really proud of that because I think the highest key I did was like a level 15. And we actually keyed it. But it was incredibly stressful because I didn't want to be like that person that ruined their key. And we had a really good group for a while that we were able to get like a +3 because we finished it so quickly. But the issue was I really burnt myself out in Battle for Azeroth because not only were we doing raids twice a week, and I understand some people are going to get screwed because of the time differences, but we wouldn't start the raid until like 8 p.m. my time, which meant that we usually didn't finish until like 10:30 p.m. my time. And then I would have to go into work by 6 a.m. So I was like usually up like 4:30, 5 a.m. So I was exhausted. And we kept doing that, obviously, until we got ahead of the curve. So I was tied during that time. And then people wanted to do keys. So then the weekends were full up because we were doing Mythic Pluses. And then people wanted to do Battlegrounds. So it became almost like a really horrible chore. And then I'm a completionist and I get addicted really easily. And I started working on getting mounts. So then I was up at like 3 in the morning to get the different rare mounts to try to get them before other people would wake up. And it just became too much. And I burnt myself out really bad. So then I took a break and I honestly did almost none of Nyalotha. I like almost skipped the whole thing. And I only went on a couple of times. And my guild was really nice. They let me raid with them when they already kind of got everything down pat. And we got ahead of the curve for that. And then everyone took a break until Shadowlands came out. And I took like a 4-month break. I stopped playing